And I'm trying to be happy and trying not to cry. Why? Because my ex has so much money. He makes more than $18,000 a month easily. And now I sit here with the triggers because he's going to the Clemson Notre Dame game with my kids. I can't just randomly afford that. Hell, I can't even get them all in the same room at the same time. So I sit here and I'm gonna get through this trigger. I'm gonna suck it up, buttercup, and I'll move on. But it's not fair. Like,
welcome to another edition of the Male Guardian. Today, we will be looking into the story of a woman who, after being married to a great man for 20 years, thought it best to divorce him because she felt the grass was greener on the other side. But she quickly realized that she had hit the wall and no man wanted to tie her down. She now became a toy to be passed around by men, not even as awesome as her now ex-husband. Now she is here painting herself as a victim. Of course, she made allegations and counter-allegations against her husband in this video. The things she said are so irritating that you will think she should be remanded in a psychiatric home. Let us sit back and follow the story.
recently divorced and kind of figuring out this new way of life. I was married for 23 years and with that person for 3 years prior. So for a total of 26 years of my life, I have been out of the game of dating, making friends, going out, and stuff like that as a single woman in her 40s. Yeah, I'm 47. So I've raised children. My children are adult children now, and it's kind of interesting because it's so lonely at this stage in life after divorce, especially with older children, because you make all your friends when they're younger, or at least I did. I met my friends mostly through my kids' activities. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I took them to practices. I went to school, all that stuff. During my marriage, my weight went up and down. My looks fluctuated depending on health needs or what mental state I was in because of the abuse I was dealing with. And also just having children and being exhausted, literally doing everything. So as your children get older and as you go through changes in life like divorce or anything like that, your looks will tend to change. Mine have obviously changed a little bit. Actually a lot. I have an autoimmune disease, so I did not have control over my weight for many years, and once they got my medications under control, and then I got out of my toxic environment, and honestly, I find refuge in the gym. I live in the gym. I have always been an athlete. I have always loved to work out, so this is not anything new. It's nothing's going to change in like 6 months. When I'm healed, I will always be a gym rat. But it's interesting because I found that, this new day and age, I've kind of gotten into TikToks and all that stuff, and social media. I'm a photographer. That's part of my job. I'm a visual communications major back in the day. Everything I do is visual. And so this was something I could grasp to, I could feel, I could see, touch, all that stuff. I've said a million times how I don't connect online, just through text and all that stuff. So it's interesting to me, some things, and I wanted to bring everybody's attention that I have recently come across and heard a ton. I have had so many people message, comment. I've even had people in my personal life say, you look expensive, or you're really pretty, so you probably, I don't understand why you would complain about that. Like pretty girls can't have problems, or pretty girls can't feel sad about anything. Lots of girls get this. The guy just wants to get that girl's attention, someone they've seen on social media for whatever reason. She's a girl in their town they know, she has the looks that she wants, whatever the reason is. But they really don't want anything with that girl. They just want the ego boost, the attention for that moment and all that stuff. And then they move on. And so I've had this happen several times, and I've said to my girlfriends in close confidence, and I'm like, I don't understand, I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? And they're like, you're not doing anything. They knew immediately that you were out of their league. They just wanted you to be the toy. They wanted to get you and play with this shiny toy that they thought was so pretty, or they thought had all these attributes that they wanted,
Yeah, you are absolutely right about one thing. They took you as a toy and a spam bag. A 47-year-old divorcee with kids don't deserve anything better. So what did you think will happen? You feel these guys will just magically come and tie you down? A granny? Take a look at her delusion and the way her friend lied to her, saying those that toy with her think she is out of their league. Whoa, my dear, they know from the start what they wanted from you. You can serve no better than being a spam bucket. Let us continue with the story.
Just hurt myself. It's gonna be really, really hard. I could be on the ground right now. I'm gonna cry. Because I wanted to kill myself last year. I was in parental alienation through a separation in South Carolina separation law that my ex used everything he could to hurt me. And the hottie season was the epitome of hell because I was a stay-at-home mom and I was
having a great week, amazing week. And then all of a sudden today, my emotions, I had the craziest thoughts, and I wonder, does anybody else feel this way? Like, I feel like I'm in mourning of the life I thought that I was gonna have. And I'm kind of pissed at myself. I stayed in a marriage for 23 years and built up a family and my ex's career and everything, and we literally just got to where it was supposed to be everything we dreamed of. Like, owned a company, making, almost $1 million, and that was my breaking point, and I left it all.
Oh my, you truly cannot make this shit up. How can someone in her right senses build a home for 22 years and break it down with her own hands? Modern women truly come in their worst these days. Kindly drop a comment on the chat box about what you think of this lady's mental health. She clearly needs help. As for her man taking custody of the kids, I think he's for the ultimate well-being of those children. To stay clear of her. Her state of health is really dangerous. Let us continue with the story.
It all. And I'm not a person that is about money. I've kind of been in mourning of the oh my gosh, I gave it all up. Everything was around my family. So when I chose to leave, I gave it all up. All up. I had no clue that the worst was yet to come in the 1 year of separation. And so it's weird because I find that I just thought today for a split second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. I should have stayed. It wasn't that bad. You made it 23 years. You made 26 years total. Your kids are college and one's almost out of high school. You made it. You made it. It didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money and you had big houses and you could do whatever you want and you could relax. And I just keep thinking, I'm like, but I had a huge house and all my bills were paid for and I never had to think how they were going to get paid.
Oh my goodness. This just keep getting better. You should have stayed, but you had to think the grass is greener on the other side. But truly, you should be given the Guinness Book of Records as the most stupid human being on earth. Go get a job, my dear. The party is over. Let's continue.
Paid. My grass was cut. Well, not the last year of separation. But you know what I mean? All the basic things to keep the image up. And it is hard to be a single female when you're 47, because my future was right there. It was solidified. I was comfortable for the rest of my life. Maybe not mentally in my relationship, but financially I was fine. And I gave it all up to be happy. Maybe I should have stayed. It was stable in every other area but that. Is my mental health really that important? I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to work through the process. But it's terrifying. It's terrifying to start over at 47. But it's hard to know you gave away My ex will probably never make less than $1 million every year. And I'm starting over. And basically as if I'm a 20-year-old again.
Trying to survive this year. I'm gonna be honest, the random things that trigger me are the craziest thing. I'm sitting in my car, literally sitting in my car, trying to pull myself together because I did what any mom does, and I pulled an emergency drive to my daughter because she needed something, and drove an hour because she's at college to drop something off, and was just so thankful that like I could do it for her and fit her in my schedule. And the littlest thing she said just triggered me, and this is the second time in a week that my child has triggered me without even meaning to. So we're getting ready to leave, and she's like, well, I'll be home because I'm gonna be at the Clemson Notre Dame game because Dad's gonna take us all. You think that's nothing, right? Like nothing, right? And it instantly, like she instantly saw a switch in me, and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, because you know I don't talk about that stuff. I don't want her to worry. She's like, Mom, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. And I had to keep it together because last week she said randomly, I was like, what are we gonna do for Thanksgiving? This is my year to have Thanksgiving with you guys. What do you guys want to do? You want to volunteer? Do you want me to just cook at home? Do you want to go out to eat? Like, I'm literally like begging for them to give me any feedback, because last year my ex used every single holiday, even if it was my holidays, to be with my kids, to isolate me, manipulate them, to torment me, and everything he could with the South Carolina 1 year of separation law. And my lawyer did nothing to help me, and the laws did nothing to help me, and my children were used as weapons. So last week she says, oh, well, Dad said for Christmas we're gonna go to Gatlinburg and be there for the holidays and do Dollywood. That man never once ever went to Gatlinburg or Dollywood ever in his entire life before he met me. That was where my family always went. I'm from Tennessee. That's something we always did. It was a bonding thing. And now that's what he's trying to do. It's like he's taken every single tradition I've ever done and now turned it into his. Everything I've ever done. And the worst part, and the thing that triggers me, is that I'm screwed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. There's no way to lie about it. Like, I literally was screwed. Now I find myself triggered because during the hardest time of my year last year, of me literally trying to stay alive, me dealing with all the craziness of my ex, the lying, the alienation, him calling me a whore, him having my children call me a whore. Why? Not because I did anything bad, because I wore spaghetti straps and all that. And the only way that he could use my children against me was to say I was on social media.
My dear, you are truly a whore. Going by what you said so far about your family, you are also a devil. You tried to destroy the happiness of those that loved and cared for you. And when you did not succeed, you ran to social media to get validation. Well, no one is validating you here. You deserve all the treatment your ex is giving you. The best you can do for yourself is to accept your condition and leave your children to be happy with their father. No one owes you anything. Let us go back to our story.
On it. I keep telling myself, don't go on it. Just survive right now. Just get through it. Just get through the holidays. But there's a timeline. And if I don't do stuff by February 8th, I can never fix the situation. But if I don't survive now, I'm literally going to be a complete mess mentally. So I'm trying, like, it's this like crazy medium, and I'm trying to be happy and show my kids that like life can move on. But the triggers, the random fucking triggers that have me sitting in a Quick Trip parking lot trying not to cry. Why? Because my ex has so much money. He makes more than $18,000 a month easily, or at least he did. He made almost $1 million the year before we divorced and then lied about it. He has all the money at his fingertips to do whatever he wants, to buy my children, take them on trips, take them on vacations. Why I literally have the bare minimum to pay my bills, on top of trying to restart a career because it was a hobby, because I was a stay-at-home mom. And just like he said, I wasn't part of the equation. I was not part of the equation in the entire marriage, this man told me. My role in life was to be the mother of his children and to
do anything that was needed for the family while he built his career. I was not part of the equation. So how was that marriage ever supposed to survive when I was fully 100% in trying to make a marriage, a life, a family, and this man never included me in the equation? And then when it was done and I got loose and I tried to survive, that man had been plotting for over a year on how to make my life hell because he had all the money, all the control. And now I sit here with the triggers. A fucking trigger because he's going to the Clemson Notre Dame game with my kids. I can't just randomly afford that. Hell, I can't even get them all in the same room at the same time. So I sit here and I'm gonna get through this trigger. I'm gonna suck it up, buttercup.
She truly deserves an applause. She should be given a distinction in manipulation. See how she makes herself look like the victim throughout the course of this story. She practically was a woman that was truly taken care of in her marriage. But it just wasn't enough. She wanted more. That is what a modern woman is all about. The more you give them, the more they want. You can never satisfy their need. They will always tell you they need more to be happy. Men, concentrate on yourself and build your career. With or without a woman, be happy with yourself. Never let a woman's happiness determine yours. They can never be happy, no matter what you do. If you enjoyed this video and want more in future, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified when we upload more interesting videos. Till we come again, stay focused. This is your guardian.